that like I didn't choose to be born, which like is supposed to mean something or something. Well, unfortunately, most of the people who are gonna take this approach, okay, they just they just want shit for free. Okay, like I didn't choose to live. I should just get a house and food and water and cell service and 5G internet and all this shit for free because I didn't choose to be here. It's like, okay, bro. Like if that's your if that's what you've come to, if I have to wonder like how much neural activity went into that, but like okay, then I guess we just disagree on that. If your world comes to fruition, yo, that'd be sick, bro. You know what I mean? If I didn't have to pay for shit, yeah, that'd be sick. That's not where we're at right now. All right, bro? So, I don't know. I would try to adapt to it, but whatever you got to do, it's all good. Casual Exchanges Podcast. We're doing this to try to brew up some discourse. I think there are more productive ways to go about some of the situations that we encounter on a day to day basis. But every once in a while, somebody's going to say something that really ends up twisting my balls. So, welcome in. From the deep thoughts section, we pay to live on a planet we were born on for free. Okay, so I just have to fucking point out a couple of fucking ideas. Okay, no more added text, nothing elaborate on that. Okay, just to be clear, you weren't necessarily born for free, bro. Okay, you still had to be fed things and not fed other things. Okay, somebody still grew you and used bodily resources. Okay, to bring you to fruition. Okay, there were still costs of your parents being pregnant with you before you were even born. Like they might have stocked up on diapers, people paid for a fucking baby shower, maybe a gender reveal, all this shit. Okay, so this idea that like I was born for free, like probably just not fucking true. um and my guess is that you're gonna go on to say like, oh, okay, this it's gonna fall into this idea of like, I didn't ask to be here, bro. Like I was born for free, so like why do I have to pay when I get here? It's like, well, again, I mean, we pay for the things that we want to engage in, right? Like the cost of participating in society is that we pay for different services and we do like social stuff with other people. Um, and things of that nature. Okay, if you want to live for free, just go ahead, live out in the fucking woods. Washington has a lot of them. You'll probably discover Bigfoot out there. Okay, so this idea that like you have to fucking do X, Y, and Z, like no, not true. If you don't want to do anything, if you don't want to participate in the job market, if you don't want to participate with other people, go live out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. You know what I mean? Like learn how to distill your own water, hunt your own food, cook that food, build your own shelter. Like it can be done. Okay, it is currently done in third world countries. So, um, I don't know. Deep thoughts. I don't know why the fuck any of this is ever in deep thoughts, but I'll try to be more charitable. Hopefully, there's some really interesting thoughts in here. The worldwide game of ownership. Fuck me. The lie of money and the need to divide resources because we cannot agree or regulate as individuals. So on some level, um, worldwide game of ownership. Maybe kind of know the lie of money. Like sure, yeah, like fiat currency. Like yeah, money is technically just something that the value is essentially just kind of agreed upon, right? Like my $20 has value because you think you can take that and go um, buy something with it. Okay, if like tomorrow, like society collapsed, like money would really mean nothing, right? If the government collapsed tomorrow, um, and there was no guarantee of that monetary value, right, of those dollars, then yeah, it would mean fuck all. And then, but right, then value would shift from those dollars to the resources, um, just basic necessities like food and water and drugs and things like that. That would be the most valuable thing, right? And then it would just be kind of like a barter system where essentially, like, if you want something that you don't have, you have to come up with something, especially if it's like a necessity like water. Oh shit, now you have to come up with something to trade that person. They have something really, really fucking valuable. If you can't distill your own water, you don't know how to do some of this shit, right? So they have a lot of leverage, and there's no, again, in a fucking post-apocalyptic society or whatever, there are no more regulations. This guy, if you're trying to fucking offer him your firstborn child and a mule and, fucking a bunch of shit, a bunch of clothes and shit that you packed before you left, he doesn't have to accept it and just be like, actually, I'll take all that shit, but also I need you to work for me, for the next couple of weeks, doing all like this random shit around my compound, and like maybe that'll be closer to the value I'm looking for. He sets a price. There is no regulation. There is no nothing. If you want the thing, at the end of the day, he has to agree to it, or you have to, take it by force. That's the kind of dog world that is. Personally, I prefer the one where we use the imaginary money, the imaginary dollar box. That's just me. We don't pay to live on the planet. Yes, that is correct. We pay for goods and services. We pay to live in comfortable homes that someone else built. You're welcome to go live on the streets or the woods or fucking cave. Yes, Jesus Christ. I'm so glad we found this early on. Yes, that is absolutely fucking true. No. It's fine. You're actually not welcome to live in the woods or a cave unless you own the cave or the woods and pay your property tax. You're trespassing either on private property or a national park, which is illegal. You're not allowed to build shelter anywhere other than your own land, and even then, only if you have a building permit. You cannot pick fruit from trees unless you own those trees. You cannot catch fish without a license. And in some collecting water, again, this idea that like, if you go and live in the fucking Appalachian Mountains, that fucking Big Brother is gonna fucking, yes, I'm sure there are, if it's like a national park or something, like there are gonna be park rangers, but this idea that they're just always gonna be fucking looking for you and hunting you down, and they just care so much, like, no, bro. Again, if you don't want to be found out there, like, you're not going to be found, because at the end of the day, look at the Amazon, bro. Just to be clear, there are uncontacted tribes out there that people straight up fucking avoid because they're fucking crazy and they will kill you. Okay, is the fucking South American government going in like, no, you need to pay your taxes? Fuck no, because they get killed. Their guys get fucked up. So no, this just isn't true. I'm sure this is true to some extent in some places, okay? Like, yeah, if you just fucking try to set up on some guy's fucking ranch, okay, or you go to fucking Yosemite National Park and you just try to set up camp next to the fucking entrance, yeah, you're gonna get kicked the fuck out. But this idea that they're fucking, there's no way, they always know where you are, they're gonna find you. Like, no, this is bullshit, bro. Okay, absolutely there are people who can just get away with fucking living in the middle of the fucking forest. Especially, like, again, I was just up in Washington, okay? The idea that they're 100% gonna find you every fucking time and track you down and try to fucking collect your taxes, like, no, bro, it's just not going to happen. You know why? Because, yes, they want their money. You know what else they want to do? They want to fucking live. They wouldn't survive out there trying to find your ass, and there's no guarantee that you're not fucking crazy if you're living out there on your own. They might try one time, and then they're going to see your fucking crazy Mongo fucking Bigfoot-looking ass out there in a fucking ghillie suit, and they're going to be like, you know what? Let's just write it off. It's not that big of a loss. It's all good. Yeah, absolutely not. I get the point you're trying to make. I think it's obtuse at best. Is exactly why. And we're just gonna ignore like the fucking all of the homeless encampments that are literally on every fucking street in California, bro. Like, are they getting, like, yeah, they get moved along and shit like that. But even then, they have a notice. Like, they give you a fucking 24 to 48 hour notice. Okay, so even still, you camp there for 40 fucking hours and then you're like, oh shit, I gotta move to the other side of the street. No, fuck you, bro. This is so disingenuous that they just fucking nickel and dime you and shit. And yet we have like just entire fucking streets and compounds in California of fucking homeless people. Shut the fuck up. No, I don't want to be charitable to you anymore. Fuck you. Yep, this is kind of what I was talking about. Yeah, you can't live on someone else's house or on their land. Otherwise, no one could call anything theirs. And then money would have no value. And then the only resources you have are the ones you can defend. Yes, is absolutely true. You also can't live on nobody's land with no houses. Again, like he's just talking about like a field. Okay, he's just talking about like, oh, I tried to set up on this fucking field and they kicked me off. It's like, yeah, bro, yeah, they did that. Yeah, honestly, it probably was like the like city land or something like that. Public land is not public. Again, homeless people all over the fucking street. They don't just get fucking at least in California, they don't just get fucking locked up, bro. Like you get moved along, but again, you have a 24 to 48 hour notice. Only allowed to visit or pass through. But if you so much as pitch tent, you're trespassing. Again, they still don't move your shit immediately unless I don't know, maybe it's different wherever you're at. You have to pay for a space that you can legally exist on. Like these people are homeless, they're not going to pay you shit. You can fine them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. It doesn't matter. You're never going to get it. What the fuck are you going to do? Put a lien on their fucking tent? I can't tell if you're obtuse or disingenuous here. Pay for a space that you can legally exist on, even if there is no man-made comforts, i.e. no house, no buildings, no running waters. This just is not true. Homeless people all over the fucking place. That means you have to pay to live, even if you are willing to give up modern luxuries and comforts. Again, just not true. The only thing these people pay for, no, they don't even pay for it. They steal their fucking the crack pipe out of the next tent, and then they go pay for crack. Like, no, it's just not true. This idea that like you are concerned about a fine because you're a normal fucking person and the government can find you, okay, through DMB records, through work records, through social media. They can track you and find you down, and you have assets of value that can be seized. The homeless person living in the Appalachian Mountains, okay, hooked on fucking meth, does not have those same concerns. Okay? Like, it's just this weird thing that we're doing. I don't know, man. I think I'm good off that one. That was a good laugh. So just to address this, like this idea, okay, we live on a planet, we pay to live on a planet we were born to for free. Like, okay. It always ties into like this bigger notion that like I didn't choose to be born, which like is supposed to mean something or something. Okay. Um Now I struggle to figure out why this matters because this is the world you have that you now exist in, okay? And so how does it help? How does that statement help? Okay? I didn't ask to be born. Okay, and what? I don't understand what the follow up to that is. Um, okay, so it strikes me as lacking a productive tone. I think a better approach to this would be to weigh out the kind of lifestyle that you want. Weigh out the luxuries that you can live without, okay? And the ones that you're willing to work a little harder for. I don't see that as an overly crazy approach. I feel like it's pretty even-handed, but people seem to struggle with this. Like maybe you've come to the conclusion that you don't need everything, that the modern world has to offer. Like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? I lived for years, I lived without AC or vehicle, okay, because I did not fucking need them. I didn't want to pay for them. I didn't know how to fucking work an AC. Okay. And I didn't have a car. I could get around without one. Okay. Now that was when I was a young lad out by myself, right? No responsibilities. Okay. Now I have a family and I need AC and a vehicle because heat makes them cranky, apparently. Okay. So again, it just changed over time, and that was fine. I was able to adapt to it. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to come to this thought by yourself that like, okay, life of luxuries or life of simplicity. Okay, a life of growing responsibility and duties to cover all of the extra luxury shit that you want, or would you rather just focus on living quote unquote living fundamentals and just homestead and do all that shit yourself. The fact is that most of the people, unfortunately, most of the people who are going to take this approach, okay, they just they just want shit for free. Okay, like I didn't choose to live. I should just get a house and food and water and cell service and 5G internet and all this shit for free because I didn't choose to be here. It's like, okay, bro. Like if that's your if that's what you've come to, if I have to wonder like how much neural activity went into that, but like okay, then I guess we just disagree on that. If your world comes to fruition, yo, that'd be sick, bro. You know what I mean? If I didn't have to pay for shit, yeah, that'd be sick. That's not where we're at right now. All right, bro? So, I don't know. I would try to adapt to it, but whatever you got to do, it's all good.